Dividing with fractions. I want you to write down this problem. I have 4 cookies that I will share with my friends. If I cut them in half so that everyone gets an equal size piece, with how many friends can I share? So pause the video, write down this question. After you have written down the question, what I would like you to do is draw a picture and see if you can solve the situation with just a picture. Now, you may have drawn circles, and that's okay for this problem, but remember, I want you to get away from drawing circles. I think that fraction bars are a little bit easier to deal with. So here are my 4 cookies. I am cutting them in half. So that means I am doing this, so that everyone gets an equal size piece. With how many friends can I share? So 1 friend can get this, 2 friends, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 friends. I can share these cookies with 8 friends. So now let's talk about what it is that we did in this problem. We started with 4 cookies. Now let's think about actions here. Sharing equal size pieces. When you are sharing something and you are splitting something into equal size pieces, you are dividing. Now, did we take those cookies and those 4 cookies and divide by 2? No, if we had divided by 2, then we would have gotten 2. But we didn't, we got 8. We can share with 8 friends. So what we actually did is we took those cookies and we divided them in half. So 4 divided by 1/2 is 8. Now you're used to seeing division as your answer getting smaller. But here we took a whole number 4, we divided it in half, and we got something larger than what we started with. So 4 divided by half equals 8. And I want you to take a look at that and see what you notice, the relationship between 4, half, and 8. All right, now I want you to write down this problem. I have 5 cookies. I will split them in thirds and share them equally with my friends. With how many friends can I share? So write this down, and I want you to draw a picture to see if you can solve. Okay, so I drew a picture of my 5 cookies. I am going to split them in thirds. So I'm going to take each cookie and I'm going to make 3 parts. I'm going to share them equally also with my friends. With how many friends can I share? So if we count up the number of people we can share with, you should see that we're able to share with 15 people. Now let's think about what we did in this problem. We started out with 5 cookies and we split them in thirds. Does that mean that we divided by 3? No, because we ended up with 15, and 5 divided by 3 is not 15. So what did we do? If we are sharing, we are dividing, but we divided into thirds, and we got 15. So 5 divided by a third is 15. 5 divided by a third is 15, and 4 divided by 2 is 8. So think again about what you notice. So here are the problems again. What you should notice is there's a relationship between 4, your whole number, and your denominator 2, and 8, between 5, 3, and 15. Really, what we did is we said 4 times 2 is 8, and 5 times 3 is 15. So, what does that mean? Write this down. When dividing with fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal. Multiply by the reciprocal. Write that down. So what that really means is when we have 4 divided by a half, what we're going to do is take 4, write it as a fraction, change divide to multiply, and find the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2 over 1. The reciprocal is basically your fraction flipped. So So 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. So we end up with 8. So when dividing with fractions, multiply by the reciprocal. So let's take 5 divided by a third. What you're going to do is say 5 over 1, first number stays the same, times, instead of 1/3, we're going to say 3 over 1. So that's 15 over 1. So just to recap, write this down. When dividing with fractions, multiply by the reciprocal. Two fractions are reciprocals if their product is 1. For example, 1/2. The reciprocal would be flipping the fraction over so that if you multiply them together, you get 2 over 2, which is equal to 1. So what would be the reciprocal of 3? Well, 3 is written as 3 over 1, so its reciprocal is 1/3, because that equals 3 over 3, which is 1. So let's just think about this one example. If we have 4 divided by 1/2, we are going to keep our 4. 4 can be written as 4 over 1. We are going to change divide to multiply. So I'm going to write multiply. And we are going to find the reciprocal of the second number, 4 over 1 times 2 over 1. So that becomes 8 over 1, which is 8. So that first value always stays the same. Divide changes to multiply, and you find the reciprocal of your second value and multiply straight through. Make sure you have taken good notes because we will be talking about this when you come to class.